This is Colin O'Keefe here with another episode of LXPN TV. Lawmakers in Florida have recently made a push to make lawsuits against nursing homes more difficult to file and less impactful. Joining me now to explain what is going on in the Sunshine State is Jonathan Rosenfeld of Rosenfeld Injury Lawyers and author of the go-to resource in this area, the Nursing Homes Abuse Blog. Jonathan, first, can you explain the basics of this new piece of legislation coming out of Florida?
Sure. In a nutshell, the legislation basically seeks to make the prosecution of nursing home cases more difficult. And one of the things that the legislature in Florida has done is basically two things. First of all, they've tried to make obtaining punitive damages in these civil cases much more difficult and a much higher standard to prove. In order to move forward with the punitive damage aspect of the case. And the other thing that they're trying to do is they're trying to limit the accessibility of nursing home's parent company. So in other words, if you're bringing a lawsuit against a nursing home that's part of a big conglomerate, it basically makes the intent is to make that lawsuit more difficult to pursue against the parent company.
I see. So in your experience, just how big of an impact could this have? Have you seen anything like it from other states?
Well, the thing, there's a sort of a fallacy out there that bringing a nursing home negligence case is an easy thing to do. In Florida and as well as many other states, there are a lot of safeguards already in place which make the filing of a lawsuit actually fairly difficult and burdensome for the person or family who's initiating it. And a lot of these newer safeguards, they're brought under the premise of nursing homes that are basically being pushed out of business. But the reality is that there's a lot of safeguards in place. For example, right now, in many states, you have to have a doctor certify a particular cause of action. You have to have certain other safeguards and parameters met before you can pursue your case. So this legislation is really sort of an ongoing theme across the country, which is intended to make these cases more difficult to pursue. We've seen this in other states as well, and unfortunately, the nursing home industry is sort of, they're doing a good job introducing some of these measures, which really have the effect of making the whole nursing home industry a little bit more of a dangerous place because, frankly, it's becoming more and more difficult to pursue these cases from a civil perspective.
Absolutely. It's interesting to watch because it seems like this is part of the larger issue of tort reform. But many lawyers have raised the topic that there are already regulations in place that make lawsuits difficult to file, that prevent, so-called frivolous lawsuits. And then there's also the fact that if there aren't lawyers out there serving as watchdogs for these industries, then who is? Once again, that was Jonathan Rosenfeld of Rosenfeld Injury Lawyers. For more of his analysis of this piece of legislation, along with a wealth of commentary on all things in the world of nursing home law, be sure to visit nursinghomesabuseblog.com. And of course, you know where to go. Visit us at lxpn.com for hundreds of these LXPN TV video interviews. And as always, there's curated commentary from the LexBlog Network's more than 8,000 lawyers. Thanks for joining me today, Jonathan.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.